This session is planned to share with you a general idea of our school's pathways, both DP and CP. And we will not deep dive into the DP components or CP components. We would like to highlight the key points and the pathway ideas so that you can have an insight about the both pathways within our school. And then upcoming weeks, we will be holding individual program-based sessions, just to give you a heads up from now on. So next week, it will be the DP session. In the upcoming week, my colleague Jen will be sharing the CP session with you. And the third week, after the CP session, it will be with our university counselor about the general university admissions based on the pathways. We will be touch basing some points time to time, but since this is beyond our expertise, so you might have need to know better or further about university applications, and most likely you will have further questions about university admissions linked to the pathways. So these questions particularly will be addressed in that university counseling session. So once we are done with these all sessions with you, we will have the similar sessions with our lovely students as well. And we will deep dive in the subject selections with them. We will be looking at the options, the contents of the subjects, and we will follow it by a subject fair, which will be held with our current IB students. This is a really amazing one because students get engaged with each other, so they have a chance to get in contact with the current actual students that are in the program already. So it will be a holistic approach to decide our pathways and to find and navigate our ways during this journey. And at the final stage, the third step that I would say, we will be holding interview one-to-one sessions with you and with your lovely beloved kids, and we will discuss the final details and tune-ups to decide which subjects to choose, which levels to choose, and etc. This was a general overview about the next coming weeks and the months, I would say. Over to you, Jen. Would you like to say anything else?
You've said it all there. And should we begin?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Okay. We already introduced ourselves. Our lovely photos. Okay, this is our agenda. So right now, our students are in an already IB program, which is a middle years program. So they will be stepping into their next IB journey, either DP or CP. And we will also look at the transition timeline here. And as I explained at the beginning, we will be looking at some components of diploma and career-related programs.
Just to add to what Beja just said, a lot of our students in this school are in quite a fortunate position because we are one of the few schools that offer both different pathways within the school, the diploma programme and the career programme. So we'll talk about that further throughout this session. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. So I was I think a little bit impatient, and I already mentioned about that timeline in general, but you can have a virtual version of it so that you can virtualize it for the upcoming days and months and weeks. So today we are running these overall introduction session. Next week, as I say, we will be running the DP-based session. Either you might have decided for DP or CP, or you are still maybe unsure. You are more than welcome to join these sessions. Maybe you will change your mind, maybe you are unsure but you will become sure after the session. Maybe you will totally change your mind. So we would really recommend and encourage you to join both sessions to understand better about the programs, because sometimes we have some prejudgments, and after these kind of sessions we get a better idea and we understand that this program is better for us, maybe this program is not better for us. Sometimes we learn what to do and sometimes we learn what not to do. So we would definitely highly recommend you, if you can manage in terms of your timings and schedules, to come both sessions for DP, CP and university counseling sessions. And then we will have sessions with our students, with following up with the subject fair, and then the individual meetings will be had like basically third steps. It's not a rocket science. We will have sessions, students will have sessions, and we will finalize it with our one-to-one meeting. Anything else? Am I understanding?
Perfect. So as mentioned before, we are one of the few schools in Dubai who do offer the two different programs at post-16 for our students. So first of all, we've got the diploma program, and we also have the career-related program too. Neither is better than the other, so to speak. You know, the DP is really established, but the CP is a newer program, which is slowly kind of fastly approaching how established the DP program is too. And we'll go into further depth throughout this session.
I think there is also a misconception about the age of the CP program. Although just it's a new program, but it's more than older than 25 years old. Yes, DP program is older than 53 ages. That's the age of the DP program originally, because it was the first program that IB established. But the CP program has a very also well-recognized heritage, I would say. So as of these slides, we will be looking particular program facts and figures, some components, some key elements, without deep diving them in this session, as I mentioned, because we also have program-based sessions in the upcoming weeks, right? So here you will see some facts regarding the diploma results. There is a comparison between, as you can see, with 2019 and 2023. It's on purpose because in between these 2 years, we all have the globally pandemics. So due to the pandemic conditions, IB run non-examination routes or amendment, they are called adapted assessment models, which means that they reduce some exams, they reduce some papers, they reduce some contents, and etc. So it was not reflecting the whole curriculum or whole assessment model. That's why we don't compare it against these between 2 years. But if you look at these are GIS results, so if you compare it with the last final full assessment model, which was held in 2019, you will see these facts and figures. We have a quite good reputation, I would say, in terms of our DP results, both CP results, which Jet will share with you really soon. But what I can highlight here, if you are concerned about, also I would like to link you to that point as well, in terms of the university applications and admissions conditions. By me highlight to the 35 plus, I will be sharing very soon these points more detail in the next slides. We have in total 45 marks as a highest mark in DB. But about 35 is a very well recognized, I would say, a result in general within the all universities across the world. And most reputed or prestigious universities will require students to have 30, ideally 35 and above. That's why we highlight these percentages. So this is some of our lovely students from May 2023. So these are their points and their results, but that doesn't really mean we highlighted here the high scores, but as a fully inclusive school, we also really welcome all learners, all type of learners, and we are really proud of that we have an understanding that success can be different to different people. So we also very welcome and acknowledge the other students' successes, which is lower than even 30s. Because if you go to any universities in the Europe, you will see that if students are awarding the diploma, which is the lowest grade, passing grade 24, they will be able to get an acceptance from the universities. But if they were to have that 30s, ideally 35 and above, obviously and naturally their options will be wider. But as a school, I would say that we are really proud of, and personally also as an inclusive school, I'm really proud of our school's culture that we all welcome all type of learners, even if they do lower than 30s, but we do our best to push them so that they can go to that wider range of options region, I would say.
Okay, Okay, so over to the CP. So we've got some data up here just to show how global the CP actually is now. So last year, in 2023, there was over 6,000 candidates who took part in the CP. There was a global pass rate of 95.25%. At GIS in 2003, we had our first cohort of CP students. Our final passing rate was 94.5%, which was a fantastic achievement. The mean grade, global grade, was 3.77. We had an average grade of 3.75. But as Ms. Berger mentioned a moment ago, success looks different to every student, and we are a fully inclusive school. So the students that engaged in the first CP cohort, we were super proud of them. So just some more school headlines. We had 19 students registered for the CP in the first cohort. This year we'll have 15 students going through. And then next year, the cohort that we have 25 students enrolled in the CP. So it is a program that a lot of parents are trusting in, a lot of students are really starting to like and engage in, and it is a growing program within the school. So I'll go into this in a moment, but as part of the CP, students need to engage in what we call a career-related subject, and it's a subject that the students will specifically focus on. That will be at the centre of their studies. In our first cohort, the BTEC was the career-related study, and our overall pass rate for that was 100%. Now it's a international BTEC level 3, which is equivalent in British terms, so to speak, of around 2 A levels. Okay, so. Some of our success stories, we've got students. A lot of parents say to me, does the CP get my kid into university? Completely, of course it does. Some of our success stories are, we've got Owen, fantastic student. He's now in Switzerland studying hospitality. We've got Vansh, who's going to do business finance in Suffolk University in the USA. We've got Yondon, who is one of our creative media students, who's going to study photography in SCAD University. And then we've got Sichuan, who came to our school with very low-level English, who is now studying business in the University of Birmingham in the UAE, which is absolutely fantastic. Super proud of all of these guys.
So, as I mentioned at the beginning of the meeting, when our students have higher grades, they have wider options to go for it. So if you look at our university market applications, you will see that we have a wide range of universities depending on our students' results. We are really proud of our results, IB, DP, both CP results. As I say, we have a quite good reputation in terms of our results. Although we are a fully inclusive school, and we are really proud of, and we are welcoming all types of learners, just for best of interest, if they have higher grades in both DP and CP, these wide range of universities will go up, like in US, Ivy League universities, or in UK, that Oxford Bridge type of universities. And as we shared, both of us share with you, both DP and CP program is very recognized across the world and globally, and it comes with lots of opportunities. The other day I was reading an article about how the IB students' language levels confirmed and approved as a European framework languages as well. So if they take English or the other second language, it will be maybe approved in the French-speaking countries, Spanish-speaking countries. We do offer these subjects as well. Yeah. Anything else that I have missed?
Okay.
So here we would like to have you to watch a general idea about the IB programs that you will be able to understand and have some insight about the general IB programs. But we also mentioned already, we will be discussing after our video as well.
As a parent thinking about having my child attend an IB program, I do remember worrying about the rigor and was it going to be worth it? And I think in so many ways it has been. I think the changes I saw in my own child going through the IB program were primarily recognizing that he could do things that he never thought he could do. It expanded his way of thinking. It encouraged our entire family to travel more than we would have otherwise. His linguistic skills were really honed, and all of those things have come into play later on. So in ways that you don't necessarily expect, I think a parent can actually watch your child grow and expand in these many different ways that the IB promotes. Selective institutions, highly selective institutions like Stanford, perceive IB students as strongly prepared, capable, ready to take on the challenges of the curriculum that we offer. Our schools tend to have a higher expectation for students coming in just because the nature of our student bodies are highly prepared. And IB students are among those who are ready to tackle whatever it is we can offer them in the very beginning. When we see an IB student's application, we light up. We are excited. We're looking to see how a student has taken on the IB. It's so individualized when you really get down to it. Many projects are self-initiated. Research is done based on things that they really care about, and that's an unusual opportunity for students in high school, and I think they can portray that on their applications. It makes them sound more lively. It shows us what's going on inside their heads. It gives us a sense of their initiative. The IB definitely has research, and institutions have done it as well, to show that there is a higher success rate of IB students in the first year or two of college.
I would like to reiterate what that parent said to us, that there are lots of, if you were to Google it, and if you were to go to IB's official website, you will come across lots of studies, lots of research results that both for diploma program and IB programs. Yeah. So both programs come with lots of, as I say, great results in terms of after their life and beyond from their higher school. Because it's not just only the grade 11 and 12. The DP-CP program, IB programs prepare students for their university and the life beyond the university. So that research results and their studies results, if you were to Google it and look at from the IB's official websites, you will be amazed that the students get higher GPA results in their universities. And right now, lots of the companies, very high reputed and prestigious companies, looking forward to hire and recruit IB graduated students because they know how they are qualified and how they are skilled. If you go to the top companies like Philip Morris, Coca-Cola, or other Facebook, Google, these type of companies, when you look at their qualifications, they even started to share in the qualifications, required qualifications, IB graduated students are a desired one. So because they know these companies even started to recognize and acknowledge that how these people graduated from IB doing well in their university students, it's not just only DP or CP, both IB students, and how they are very high qualified in terms of their skills, not just only academically, but holistically. That's why it's very well reputed for.
I think to add to that, I'm sure most of you guys know we had an inspection quite recently. One of the inspectors, she said that she'd inspected schools of all the different curriculums in Dubai, and she said that she's never come across students, so well prepared for higher education as IB students. And she said much better prepared for higher education, much better prepared for employment once they've been in an IB education, which was cool.
Any questions so far to us? Are you all excited and fascinated about IB programs like we do? Actually, the first, I think it has been almost 15 years that I've been working with IB, that the first time that I come across that, which fascinated me a lot and amazed me a lot, to differentiate an IB and non-IB student, as Jeff right now said. So as the KHA inspector shared with us, if you were to come across with two students and you have no idea about their backgrounds, but if you start to talk with them, even their communication skills with you and the conversation type, the content and the depth of it, you will be easily try to and able to understand that which one is an IB student, which one is not an IB student. That's a fascinating program with it. So this is how I'm very admiring the program itself. As of these slides, I will be looking at some key components of the diploma program, but as we shared at the beginning, please just don't stress. We will be looking and deep diving into, for those of you who arrived recently, we will be having in the upcoming weeks program-based sessions. Today we are holding, for those of you who joined us recently, I would like to repeat this part so that you can have an idea. Today we are holding a session for you to share the pathways in general and to give you an insight about our pathways that we offer at our school, in our school. But in the upcoming weeks, we will be following it up with the diploma program-based session and then CP program-based session, and then we will finalize current sessions with the university counseling session. So here I will start my diploma program overview sharing. Can I use that for please? Thank you. This is the program overview. So we will have the similar one in we have the similar one in MIP. We have the similar ones in diploma program and CP program as well. So you will see that we are under the big umbrella of the international mindedness. We come under this aspect in the diploma program, also the other programs. And then we have the subject groups in the inner circle, as you can see. We have 6 main subject groups. One is the main mother tongue, I would say, and the language learning, here language acquisition, and then individual societies, and sciences, maths, and the arts. I will be looking at the options in the upcoming slides as well. If you go inner circle, you will see that we have the core, which comes with theory of knowledge. It's a kind of teaching subject. I will be explaining it in the soon as well. Extended essay, I would definitely say that it's a kind of, as a personal educator, I've mistaken it for a doctorate thesis. It's that kind of comprehensive essay that students are, all the full diploma students are required to write. And then creativity activity service, which is really similar in MIP students that their third section. So in the heart of the program, as you can see, our students are lying there. So in all IB programs, always we are starting from our student needs. So that's why this program is really important. It's not just only curriculum itself, the student needs itself. So how do we create the program? We choose the subjects and it comes with that core as well. So diversity here that we can highlight and draw your attention is to, you will see in our and our students will also understand from our sessions, which we will hold after your sessions are done, that we don't choose the program itself, that our friends choose it. We encourage them to choose based on their strengths and interests. Sometimes students are really interested in the program, but maybe that program will not be their strength area. So what we do here, to give the best chance of success, we encourage our students to navigate and find their pathway accurately, properly, based on their interest and strengths. If that combines together, the results will be definitely fascinating, either in the diploma program or the CP program. And language options and challenges. So we offer French, Spanish, or also Arabic in this language learning program, as well as the parent shared in her video. These programs, both DP and CP, comes with a strength of the linguistic skills. We shared it already before. I mentioned about the core, which lies in the center again, which not be neglected, because this is a mandatory requirement for full diploma students to award the diploma. If they don't do good in theory or knowledge or extended essay, they will not be able to award the diploma, as well as the creativity activity service, which is similar to the service and action. And the assessments, obviously, in the diploma program. So this is a 2-year program, remember. So students start from grade 11 until the end of grade 12, but actually it's 1.5-year program, I would say, because the curriculum will run over that 18 months, and at the end of the grade 12, around end of April, mid-May, they will be sitting the final exams. So on top of that final exam, students are also required to write these type of essays, like theory of knowledge and extended essay. On top of that, they are also required to do individual essays from each of their subjects. That's why this program is very strong in terms of academics, also very strong in terms of their holistic way. So, what options and requirements for DP we can have at this point? That students take 6 subjects, if you count this circle, the second circle in the inner, and they choose 1 subject from each group. I will be showing you which subjects we offer this year for our class of 2026 cohort. So for full DP student, it's mandatory to take 3 high-level subjects and 3 standard-level subjects to establish the full diploma program itself. And we have a variety of options in the group 6. Although it says here the arts, it comes with other subjects options from group 2, 3, and 4. I will be showing it to you. Don't just think about the arts as visual art, film, or music. It also includes some other subjects from the other groups. So students may choose to have 2 sciences, 2 other individuals and societies subjects. You can know it from maybe humanities, individuals and societies. And some students would like to have 2 subjects from the group 1, which is mother tongue. So since our students are bilingual students and all speaking English students, so what we do, some students are very strong with their mother tongue and also English as well. So at this point, we are very strong and proud of that. We are offering them a school-supported self-taught, which comes with a tutor meet, and they are able to do their mother tongue as well. And this is a great opportunity for them to have a bilingual diploma. And at the end, on top of these 6 subjects, so students are required to do their core components, which is theory of knowledge, as I said, CAS, and extended essay. So DP core, let's have a look. Like, I will not again, I would like to reiterate what I said at the beginning for those of you who joined us recently. Since I will be deep diving these details in our DP session, I will just touch base here little by little. CAS is, as I said, since you are familiar with MIP, you can mistake it for like services action, because these are all IB programs. They are more or less laying down on the same basis. So they will be working AAP, creativity, activity, service-based experience. So they will log these experience, so this program will become a holistic one on top of that strong academic rigorous program. In the theory of knowledge, so the students will be expected to write a theory of knowledge essay. Theory of knowledge is also a lesson, as I said. It is taught 100 hours throughout that 18 months program. And they will also present an exhibition at the end of grade 11. So this comes with 2 components for students. This is such a great subject, I would say, because it includes areas of knowledge which is linked to the subjects. It's not a standalone subject. It is very linked to all 6 subjects, so it becomes a holistic program in that way. Extended essay is my favorite one, as I said, because it's the one that I'm taking it for a doctorate thesis. As you see, that comes with 400 words, and students choose a subject they are very strong. Also, we encourage them to choose the one that is also their interest, so that they can achieve their goals in that extended essay. So it's such a kind of inclusive and exclusive, independent, self-directed piece of research. So we will here look at subject options. As I mentioned, the group 1 comes with mother tongue or the language literature, which is English in our school, and group 2 is the language acquisition. Linguistic skills are build up. So we offer French, Spanish, Arabic, or ab initio versions are the language options in IB who have never engaged with that language before. But it doesn't mean sometimes students are confused that French ab initio, Spanish ab initio very easy compared to the Spanish B or French B, but it doesn't work in that way. They are using more or less the same criteria for the assessment. They are coming from different routes to level up and reach out the same level, I would say. Group 3 is individuals and societies. Maybe you can remember and be familiar with the humanities in MIT program. We are very proud that we have lots of opportunities here, global politics, history, as you see, we have a variety of options under this group. Again, this is such a proud that we get under group 4 science. Not all of the IB schools provide these variety of options. I know through my interviews since last year, lots of students that I had interviews from the other schools, prospective students, when I asked them, why do you want to come to our school? And they were telling me that my school is not offering a variety of options in group 3 or group 4. I want to do group chemistry and your school is offering that one and my school is not offering that one. So we have lots of students coming to our school that we have good reputation, both in terms of our results and also the options itself. And group 5, we have mathematics. We also offer 2 types of mathematics that is available under diploma program. And as you can see, this is also a great thing in group 6. Lots of the schools, if we were to go within UAE or the other countries that I work in, the other countries as well, that they only offer the art subjects. It's a selective elective group that you can remember from MIT. Since it is named as arts, usually schools offer only the arts-based subjects here. But although they are able to offer the other subjects, they don't offer it. But as GIS, we are really proud that we have lots of opportunities here for our students. Yes, for sure.
One question.
Yes.
So when we make the selection of the subject, so is it that one from each group is not?
Exactly. Let's say that a sample, then the language, literature, English will come. If the student is a Russian speaking student and she's really confident with her mother tongue and she wants to do literature, language A Russian, she can take Russian here. Or if she's very happy with doing another language learning, French B, Spanish B, she can take another second language here instead of school supported starting from her mother tongue on top of English. In group 3, she will choose one subject here. And group 4, she will choose one other subject here. In math, group 5, she will choose one other subject here. And then group 6, like if usually what students do, if they are science-based, STEM-based, engineering-based, they do here choosing a science. Let's say it's medicine. They go with biology and they go with chemistry here or vice versa. But let's say it's like a kind of business-based area that they are thinking of, but they are unsure. They do environmental systems and societies, and they do here maybe economics, maybe business management, maybe design technology. Like computer science students, they usually prefer to do physics here and then computer science here, or computer science here and the physics here, and vice versa.
So at any given point of time, a student cannot have 3 sciences?
No, because we only have 6 groups where they can have 2 subjects. Additional subjects is not recommended by IB,
Okay.
because already the program as an established version very rigorous. And as school also we don't recommend it because of the timetabling. Students don't have enough time to work an additional subject.
And choice of HL and SL can be at the discretion of the student.
We have admissions criteria to look at with our students while we are establishing their program. So we have basic entrance requirements. On top of that, choosing the high-level subjects or based on, as I mentioned very recently, based on their strengths, interests, and their future aspirations. we look at these options together. That's why this is 3 steps. We have these sessions with you guys, and then we have sessions with our students, and then we have interviews on top of that to discuss about their interests, strengths, their future aspirations, which combination will work really well in their best of success.
And when do these entrances happen?
Interviews.
Yeah.
After we are done, I think maybe you might have joined us later on. At the beginning, let me get back to this point quickly.
The March.
Yeah, there was a timeline. I'll go there.
So it's only the interview, right? No
Yeah.
entrance assessments about the subject that they are going
Like a kind of assessment that the passing assessment or etc. I will show you the admissions requirements.
Okay.
So I think it's better I go this way. Definitely we will be looking at your grades based on our entrance requirements, right? But there will not be a kind of, because IB is not such a kind of program like having an assessment for a passing an entrance requirement is met in that way. Yeah, the timeline will work in that timeline. And here individual meetings will have, but there will not be a specific assessment for our students to take so that the interviews can be held. It doesn't work in that way. But we will definitely evaluate our students' applications based on their entrance requirements. Have I missed anything else, Shreya?
No, that's perfect.
I'm conscious of time. Oh, sorry.
Will you share the presentation?
Exactly. Don't worry about the presentations. We always, after the ConnectEd sessions on Fridays, we have a very great GIS newsletter, you know, and Mr. Simon and Amanda always share weekly news with you. On that great page, you will see Miss Amanda's message. Just next to it, there are links where you can access all past ConnectEd sessions and presentations. Also, this session is recorded. You can even get back to the record as well.
Last question from my side is the contents of the topics. We see business management here, but the same content, just in different groups.
In group 6,
Yeah.
I mean,
In group
Yeah,
6, there's
if-
business management.
yeah, same. Like, if student takes group business management here, this is the same subject, they cannot take the group 6 business management. I would like to take one more, okay. And don't worry, don't stress, we will have a Q&A session at the end as well. Let's quickly have a look, because I'm sure that the Jed is also very passionate to share his fascinating program with you as well. So I will have lots of final things that I would like to share, then I will hand over to Jed. DP assessment, on top of that program establishment, so assessment, how does it look like? On top of the in-school assessments, where we prepare our students the real-world IB exams, these are the simulations of them, and also for that assessment, which they write from each subject, remember, which is sent to the IB examiners will mark, and these assessments, individual assessments, either extended essay or subject assessment, will contribute as a certain amount of percentage to their diploma. So apart from in-school preparations, the students will prepare these assessments and they will sit at the end of the world exams program. So IP world exams, as I mentioned, it usually takes end of April, mid of May, like it lasts 3 weeks or 3.5 weeks, I would say. The grades range from 1 to 7. I will be sharing how that grading and marking is working, not diving into deep as I will be sharing in the DP session. So as mentioned, there are internal and external assessments. Internal ones are don't confuse it with the ones that we run in the school. These are the preparations for our students. These are the mimic of the internal and external assessments of the IB. These are not sent to IB. These are in school-based. This generates their transcripts, but students' diploma grades consist of 2 components. Their assessments that they write from each of their subject, which is sent to the IB, and the exams that they sit at the end of the program, basically. The types of the assessments varies from subject to subject. So to award a diploma, as mentioned before, The minimum point is 24. It comes with lots of specific conditions which we will look in the DP session. Like these kind of, but don't worry about them since we are going to look at them detailed in our DP session. So grading system, let's have a look simply at that one. Since they have 6 subjects and each subject can be marked from 1 to 7 scale, so if they have, inshallah, the highest grade 7, 6 times 7 will come with 42, but the core components, there is a matrix from TOK and extended essay on top of completing the creativity activities service studies and experience. There will be an additional, like a kind of bonus mark from their core components as well, which will end up with them 45. Which is not an impossible one, it's not a rocket science. There are lots of students within this school and other schools that can, this marking can be achievable. So here, let's summarize 4 DP considerations, what you can have a look. Both programs comes with lots of prestigious recognition, right, across the world. So the content comes from for both programs from at the beginning of grade 11 until the end of grade 12. And then admissions requirements also will reflect students which program is best for them based on their interest and strengths. This is basically what we will look further in the upcoming sessions and the admissions policies. First of all, in the full diploma program, we require students to have grades 4 and above. This is why when you ask, we don't have a specific example, we will be expecting our students to have 4s and above from their subjects so that they will be eligible to go with their DP, full DP program. And on top of that, we will be expecting our students, because like an extended essay, MIP project is also a very significant indicator for us about our students' IB journey. That's why we expect our students to have 4 and above from their MIP project as well. To establish the program, remember the students are required to have 3 high levels and 3 standard level. So for 3 high level lessons, we have an additional entrance requirements to have 5 and above. So if they were to choose chemistry as a high level, we will be expecting to have them to in science 5 and above in their MIP studies. So this is to ensure that their interests and strengths come together. And if some of you might consider and worried about if these conditions are not met, what's going to happen, or if they are on the borderline, like what's going on. This is why we hold these interview sessions. We don't just evaluate the numbers, we also evaluate students' feedback from the teachers, feedback from the university counselor, feedback from their homeroom teacher, feedback from their CAT 4 results. We look lots of the data to understand which is their strength, which is their interest, what will be the best combination for them. That's why in the final stage we do these interviews with you and our students. I already mentioned about if the conditions are not met, what's going to happen. If all of the evaluation is done, if nothing is met for full DP, still students who would like to do the DP program, that's still possible. There are 2 options based on the case. We go case by case. So if the students are, depending on the evaluation, are able to do full DP, but there needs some improvement. So what we do to offer them the conditional offer, which means that they will be tracked like the other students, but they will be definitely closely tracked based on their achievements in the upcoming weeks and months. DP course is another diploma under the diploma program, a version of it. It's not a full DP, but it's a very well recognized again certificate across the world. Some universities may come to you with some limitations for DP course certificate. I will show you right now the differences. So the main differences between the full DP and DP course in terms of the program establishment or the choices, it's totally the same. The students choose the subjects from each group, 1 subject from each group again. Just only the core students eliminate some requirements that they don't take theoretical knowledge, they don't write extended essay, but they are still required to do CAS as per GIS rules, and there are not conditions to award the certificate. So there's no minimum point requirement or specific requirements to get a certificate. So what is the advantage of this diploma version? That students will definitely get a certificate, whatever it is, and they will be able to access the universities. And over to you. Thanks for listening me patiently.
Right, okay, so I'm going to talk about the career-related program we have here at GIS. So as IB parents, you may have seen lots, of these circular diagrams. Ms. Berger just a moment ago was talking about the DP version. Now, one thing that you'll notice is the centre is always the same. What do we see in the centre of the diagram? A student, okay, excellent. And that's because the IB has a student-centred approach in all of its programs. And that's one thing that we want to live by here at GIS. We want to ensure that we have the most pathways possible for all of our students, because we know that no two students are exactly the same. Now, I mentioned at the beginning that we have 2 pathways at post-16. That's incorrect. To be fair, we have many more. And a big thing that we commended on this year at KHDA, and we were rated outstanding, was for curriculum design at post-16, because we give so many options to our students to help them on to further education. So a little bit about what the career-related program actually is. It's offered in over 300 schools worldwide, and it combines a top IB education with employability. It helps promote international mindedness of our students and the different components. It focuses on the IB learning profile. There is a big rigour of academics within it, which some people initially, when they hear about the CP, they don't think that's the case, but it is. Lots of skills are developed, lots of interpersonal skills, which will help students to become in a much better position for further education and also for employability in the future. And a really important aspect is that the CP really helps the students who are really passionate in a specific area, or they have personal interests, and I'll explain more about that in just a moment. So who is it for? As I just mentioned, it's for students that are very passionate about a specific field. Some students might already know at 16 or 15 what they want to do. I've already met with some parents who want to join the CP because their kid knows exactly what they want to do. And they know, let's say for example, they may not need to take math, so they don't need to endure the 2 years of pain of taking math. So the CP gives students that option, to drop some subjects that they don't need. Let me go back, sorry guys. So I just want to go to here, so students, it also helps students who want to prepare themselves professionally and for higher academics. Now, what happens is in the CP, there's a lot of hands-on opportunities for our students, internship experiences, community services, and that gives the students, an opportunity to bring life to books and bring the books to life as well. Okay, so how does it work? How would it look for one of our students? So the students will take one career-related study, and I'll explain that in more depth in just a moment. And that's an area that we're developing year on year. We've got lots of opportunities and pathways for our students. There are 4 key areas. These are also called the glue of the CP. They have the reflective project, personal and professional skills, language development and service learning. Then the students will also choose 3 DP subjects. Now these meetings that will be taking place, we will help students and we will support students and direct them to choose 3 DP subjects which will support their career-related study. Okay, so we've designed the timetable in a way and the subject selection in a way that the DP subjects will support their career-related study. I'll go into more depth in just a moment. So the career-related study, the career-related study pathway, we have Lots of them at the moment. So we have Embry-Riddle, first of all, which is an aeronautical university. Okay, and within that programme, there are 3 different pathways that students can engage in. They can engage in aviation and aeronautics, science, technology, engineering and math, and business combined with any of the above. Now, the Embry-Riddle programme, we have some students on there at the moment. I'll give you 2 examples. One of the students, he is fascinated by sailboats. He currently works on sailboats, designing them, and in the future he wants to be a maritime engineer. We have another student who wants to be a pilot, so he is on the Embry-Riddle programme. This is done via the university. They have online lessons for the students. They're on there, they're collaborating with lots of students around the world. Once this is completed, once the 2 years of the CP are completed, this accounts for the first year of university when the students actually go to Embry-Riddle. So they will go to Embry-Riddle and they will begin in their 2nd year of study. Our second career-related pathway is our SUMAS Business School in Switzerland. This will be new coming into the next year. Again, equivalent of 1 year of university, and it will have a similar format. This will be online, again collaborating with students from around the world, participating in different projects. There is an opportunity for students to travel to their different campuses and spend 2 weeks at their campuses throughout, similar to an internship where they'll be working on different projects. Now, as I said a moment ago, no 2 pathways will be the same in the CP. That is the beauty of it. Within this pathway, we have different pathways again. So students may want to focus on nature conservation, sustainable fashion, sustainable hospitality, sustainable culinary arts, sustainable tourism, sustainable finance, or digitalisation. So again, there are sub-pathways within the SUMAS Business School. Now the BTEC, which is something I mentioned earlier, we have 3 different pathways for BTEC at the moment. So we have creative media, we have business, and we have sport. Okay. A little bit more about the core. Now this is something that I've been involved in a lot over the past 2-3 years now. And the core is amazing. It brings everything together and really helps our students to develop the interpersonal skills they need in the future. The Reflective Project, it's assessed internally and moderated by the IB, and grades range from A to E, and that is where students they will complete an essay to look at a specific global issue, a global ethical issue, and that will have to relate. Everything that they do will always relate back to their career-related study, to their centre focus, to their passion. They engage in language development. 50 hours will need to be completed. And that is where students can, let's say for example, we have a student who wants to go and study in Italy. The students will engage in the development of that language, learning the basics, hello, my name is, and then they will also have to develop business-related language. If they're doing creative media, they need to learn keywords of different things they need to in creative media. Students will engage in service learning. Now this is the beauty of the CP for sure. We've had many different projects, students setting up accounts and websites to help different dog foundations within the UAE. We've had students link up with the Arabian Row team, which was a team of guys who crossed the Atlantic Ocean to advocate for single-use plastic. There's lots of different opportunities.
So this is such a kind of combination and great opportunity, and I'm really proud of our school in terms of that culture, because we are all welcoming from all pathways students. We don't differentiate or highlight one program against the other one, because all programs are very amazing programs since they are new programs, but they are all coming different depending on different needs, strengths, and interests as well. But we can here recommend you a kind of suggestion that if you would like to take. There is a lifeology test that we will be also discussing with our students. If there are really, some students are very lost about their future, they don't know what to do, they don't know what to choose, which country to go, which university to go. So at that moment, if they are super unclear about what to do, we recommend them and suggest them to do this kind of personal interest and strength tests. There's a one that we find very useful. That it comes with, I think, the next page with the steps, how it can be done, if we were to show it to you. It's a very user-friendly one. You can have a look when we share this presentation with you. And then you have your family discussions and conversations with your child. You can also go back and if you feel that your child is so lost in terms of the future aspirations, you can also have these kind of tests, personal interest tests. On top of that, we also have a great support instrument here, our university counselor, where you can discuss the university and career options along with their admissions requirements. This is also such a great, I think, layer to decide the proper pathway for our kids and students. Anything else that I have?
Can I ask?
Yes, sure.
On this slide, the DP program,
Yep.
so they actually have two options, either the DP program
Or
or the
DP
DP
course.
course.
So actually, it is diploma program itself. Depending on the entrance requirements, it will be either a full diploma with the theory of knowledge, extended essay requirement, high-level requirements, awarding the diploma requirements, or it will be again a diploma, but the course program eliminating some specific requirements like theory of knowledge, extended essay,
But they
and
still
award.
get the
It's the still diploma program. So I do have as a chemistry student, full DP student, DP course student doing the same chemistry, but the one is doing the high level chemistry, the other one is doing this standard level chemistry, and she eliminated the extended essay and the theory of knowledge to balance her rigorous academic demands so that she can have higher grades from her subjects by eliminating some stress from her life.
And she still gets an ID.
Yeah, she gets a certificate, whatever it is. Yeah, it's not called diploma, it's a certificate, but it is again recognized by the universities for admissions. We have lots of students accepted by their course certificates. We do know that some universities comes with several limitations against the DP course, but it can be also applicable for full DP as well. Some universities can tell you that your diploma is not recognized because it's lower than 35. So it needs to be checked with the university and ensure that the university recognizes DP course. We do even have lots of students in grade 12 that they understood that their universities just only asking them to have a diploma or IB program, either full DP or DP course. And if they don't have the 6 subjects, because it's available in DP course not to have 6 subjects, 5 subjects or less. So they understood that this is applicable, so they dropped some subjects to eliminate some stress from their life. It's not a requirement from their university, so they say, okay, I will eliminate some stress from my life and I will focus on the other subjects that I would like to improve and I will have higher grades from these subjects because my university already accepts it.
Just a very little question in the grade 12 class about what % go for the DP course? Is it half or less or more?
Usually students go with the full DP as long as they meet the requirements and as long as we also approve their strengths, interests and entrance requirements. But we also have, like, I would say maybe 70 to 30%. 70 to 30%, I would say.
You mentioned that there is the bilingual option. Any restriction in terms of the languages that is?
Yeah, bilingual option is coming from IB with lots of requirements, but within our school, it's available with doing the school-supported self-taught only. What is the mother tongue of your kids? Portuguese. So if it is available, that needs to be approved by the IB first. So if the student is very capable in terms of taking the Portuguese as a language, because it comes with a literature, it's not learning the language, like they will be analyzing Shakespeare's pieces. So they will be reading the piece of that kind of heavy literature pieces and analyzing them and writing essays about them. So they need to be very strong in their mother tongue. So if they were to choose that school-supported self-taught, it comes another requirement as having a tutor as well, because it's called school-supported self-taught. It means that we don't teach this subject in our school, so they learn from their tutors, but it's supported from our school. I can discuss this in the EP session, and then it can generate a bilingual diploma. But I don't want to give you a misunderstanding that it is not a kind of, if the students don't do a bilingual diploma, this is not a loss. It's a great, I think, reputation to hold such a kind of document. But when it comes to the university applications, let's say X and Y student, the X student will not be accepted in a better way because that the kid has the bilingual diploma. The first thing in general the universities do to look at their total grades and subject grades. The first thing always. Yeah. I'm avoiding and eliminating the particular case by case specific circumstances, but in general they will definitely look the total grades or the each individual subject grade. Are we in the, I'm so sorry, did I interrupt your part? Or
No,
are we now-
I'm just flipping to the sides.
Yeah. Are we in the Q&A part? Are we now in all our slides? Okay, great. So then we can continue to Q&A session, but before just we'll end the session and leave, can I ask you to ensure that you sign off our signature there?
To choose a high-level subject, right, you need to have a grade of 5 or more.
Yes.
Only in grade 10 marks or
We'll be looking holistically. In general, we look in grade 10 grades. So at the time that we look the term 1, term 2, or if it doesn't base all the time or getting the report. So what we do it at that moment to look at their Cat 4 results. And we re-evaluate if we are uncertain at that moment. We re-evaluate these results based on the upcoming term transcripts.
and the projected score in grade 12, how is it calculated?
But project remain, I'm not
Projected score in case the results don't come before the universities try to take us in.
The predicted
Score, sorry.
For university applications, so the students will get their results at the end of grade 12, either DP or CP program, as of July 3rd. So, it was the 3rd of, I think I'm confused, maybe 5th. But what happens, this universities will maybe give you a conditional offer based on the school transcripts or the predicted grade transcript. It depends on the university's choice. And then they will give you the final and official offer based on the final results, which will come from IB.
How do you do the predicted score? It's based on 11th and 12th.
Yeah, remember we do the school-based assessments. So these school-based assessments will be an indicator for us to predict our students' achievements. So our teachers are very well qualified DP teachers, and they use their professional judgment based on the in-school assessments to anticipate what grades they're going to have. But this will not contribute to their final diploma or CP diploma or certificate. This will be a kind of anticipation what grades they're going to achieve. The universities, that's why sometimes they do offer official offer, but sometimes they offer conditional offer based on these grades because they know that these are the predicted ones, not the official ones. The official ones will come after they finalize their exams at the end of May, and the results will be published in July.
We heard that the career-related program is also limitations. I don't know in your experience that in terms of university entrance, we heard that it's only accepted in America and Canada.
No,
Jed would like to answer.
No, that's not correct. It's accepted widely across many countries now. Just one thing that we do always advise, and this is why we have the different levels of structure within the school and why you have the university guidance counsellor, is that any students before picking a specific program, they are advised to seek advice from our university guidance counsellor. But the CP, can get students into universities in an array of different countries.
Sorry.
I'd like to add on that one that the last year's high scorer CP student in a university right now, where third our DP student has got her acceptance already before she's sitting her DP exams. So we have a full DP student in this cohort this year, she didn't graduate at all yet, but she got her acceptance from the same university which our student already admitted last year as a CP student, the highest score. They will be in the same university. Yeah, you can maybe understand the difference or the competence in that.
And just one thing that I missed out on before as well was that for the DP subjects that are chosen for the career-related programme, they can be HL or SL. They don't need a specific number of HL or SL. It just depends upon, as we said after our students have spoken to the guidance counsellor, it depends upon whether they need SL or HL. So they can choose as they like.
What's the accuracy of the predicted?
Since we have a very qualified DP teachers, our predictions are usually what we anticipate. So obviously we have like -2, or +2 range. This is what acceptable from the IB, but usually it's very accurate. When it comes to also results, you will see that our results, that's why we are very proud of our results as well, because it also reflects our school's achievement and our students' achievement as well. Yeah. Yes, please.
When you say about the world exams, how are the students being prepared for the world exams? Because I suppose earlier there used to be year-end exams right from grade 9 till grade 11, and then they appear for the world exam. But last year the kids didn't have any year-end, and this year also it's still not very sure whether they are going to have year-end exam.
Yeah, in my presentation I mentioned at some point that as soon as the program starts right away, all the assessment types and in-school assessments start, where we prepare our students toward to their internal assessments, which is that essay type assessments that is sent to the IB. Also the DAP exam types. We do exams in the DPCP program. We also take them to the trial exams where they can prepare, well prepared for because these are the mimic of the world exams, where they can prepare for the world exams as well. In grade 11 and grade 12. This is exactly the same type of the assessments that IB runs in the world examination.
So that will happen in grade 11 only?
Yeah, 11 and 12. Yeah.
Okay.
I do understand the question as well, though, what you're saying, because you mean grade 9 and grade 10 end of year exams, of course. So, one of the big things that we believe in is continuous assessment throughout the year, and there will be, many key points throughout the year where, our students are assessed, through written exams.
Yeah.
But we don't always like it just to be one whole year tested by one test at the end of the year. We have continuous assessments throughout grade 9 and grade 10, which do prepare our students.
Yeah, but what happens is it is only for that unit it happens. So if you talk about a year-end exam, it will cover the entire year, and when the child goes to grade 11, he'll be knowing, he or she will know what to expect from the world exams.
Yeah.
But the sudden change in the grade 11 becomes too much for the kid if they are not being used to giving this year-end exams in the past couple of years. So that jump is quite high for them academically.
Yeah.
So
maybe it needs to be a different discussion for another ConnectEd session, but in the IB assessments, both in the MIP program and DP program, CP program, so we have both formative and summative assessments. I wouldn't say that in our MIP program 9s and 10s that we don't have summative assessments. We do have summative assessments, but MIP itself naturally based on formative assessments, like Jen explained recently, that continuous assessment, and also our teachers and subjects running the summative assessments as well, which they will see the short versions and simulations of the final type
I
of
understand.
exam.
It is just for that unit that continuously for every unit there has been a continuous assessment happening. But together over an year, there's no assessment that is happening which would assess the student whether. It shouldn't happen that the student forgets what he or she learned in unit 1 when he comes to unit 3.
So can I just mind if I just finish? Hello, hi, I'm Harry, I'm one of the assistant principals. In terms of assessment, particularly in grades 9 and 10, grades 9 and 10 start to mimic the diploma assessments. That's very, very important. The other important thing to remember is written exams are only one part of DP assessment. It's a very, very broad range of assessments across the DP. Okay? And no DP assessment in any course whatsoever will assess a year's work. They assess an area, okay? So the preparation studying grade 9 and grade 10 is to prepare students for that very broad range of assessments that they're going to meet in the DP. If we were to focus just on written exams, we'd actually be letting them down. Some subjects don't have any written exams in the diploma, for example. Okay? So we really try and balance that. So we're very confident that our students are very well prepared for the particular assessments that they're going to meet in particular subjects. Okay.
If I were to give a percentage, some subjects.
Sorry?
Are you confirmed that for grade 10 there will be no year-end examination?
It depends on the subject. So for example, for maths, they might have an exam-style assessment because that's what's going to happen in grade 11. But in, for example, some of the creative subjects, there won't be because they don't have those exams. So those are very much subject-specific. But those exams will take place probably in the classroom, okay, but under exam conditions, all right? Our teachers are very aware of the types of assessments that they're preparing their students for and adapt their units appropriately in grades 9 and 10.
And I would like to reiterate that in diploma program, like Mr. Harry explained, that some subjects come with an internal assessment with the percentage 40% or 50% on top of that final exam, so almost half. So that formative assessments from 9th and 10th grade prepare these students for these type of assessments as well. Can I also pass this one while we are discussing? For those of you who are not signed, can you please sign off, please? Thank you. Yeah. Within our school, there's a UAE law. Within our school, our program is established to, first of all, we know that UAE passport holder students must have an Arabic. So also, if they want to have a Ministry of Education equivalency, or maybe if they would like to have a scholarship, they are required to have Arabic B as a HL. So to meet that requirement, what we do, we combine that requirement with our diploma program and we offer the Arabic within our program itself. So that's why we added Arabic B in group 6 if the students want to do another second language learning like French or Spanish, they can take this one in group 2 and meeting that mandatory requirement, they can take Arabic B in group 6.
But this would be okay on the DP because we have 6 groups. When we go to the CP, that means we have left him on one subject on the CP. But we take Arabic.
Yeah. So Arabic would need to be taken, and then 2 other subjects that would be put. Yeah.
Any questions?
For the bilingual diploma,
Yeah.
The mother tongue self-taught, is it within the 6 subjects or 7?
Yeah, no, it's within the 6 subjects. So then the students choose the school supported subject, what is the mother tongue? Italian. So the English plus school supported subject Italian as an Italian name, and literature will come. And group 2 subjects will not be chosen. You will continue to choose from.
So I cannot choose
French B, Spanish B will not be chosen. Any questions? Have you missed anything else? Ms. Amanda, would you like to add anything else?
Good morning, everyone. I've been down the back listening to Jed and Burju, and I'd like to thank them. You're in very, very capable hands. They've got a wealth of experience and knowledge in what they're explaining to you. I just want to emphasize a couple of things. Today is the start of a very long journey, okay? And I know you've got lots of questions, and they're not all going to be addressed today, all right? But as you've sort of seen from the schedule, so we have today's meeting, which is a general introduction to grade 11 and 12. Next week it'll be the purely diploma, okay? The week after it'll be purely CP, which obviously then we'll go into more detail. And then the final ConnectEd session in the last week of January is with Mina, our university counsellor, and she talks more about, well, if you go either of these ways, where does that get you to, okay? So that's the month of January. After that happens, then we have personalized meetings with you and your children, with one of the coordinators, or if your child, like many children are, young adults, are unsure at this stage, you might meet with Jed because we're not sure about the CP, we might do, and you might meet with Mina, and with Burju, and that's absolutely fine, okay? At the end of the day, as Jed said, the student is at the center. And one of the things that we pride ourselves on here at GIS is the personalization that we put into the education, which is one of the reasons why we brought the CP on board initially. Because we know very well that the diploma is not suitable for every student in our building. And that's not a slight on them and their ability. It's just, I mean, you know what you were like when you were a student, right? Some kids just don't like the academic side of things. They don't like being stuck in front of a book, in front of a teacher the whole time. They resent the fact that they're forced to study a science when they know very well that they're going to end up doing dance. And they don't need to do a science in their head. So the career-related program is more about students that are passionate about a particular pathway and they know already that that's what they want to do. Okay? So kids that know that they want to go into the design field, they know that they want to go into photography or media or film or business, the career-related program is for them. They will spend 18 months with us purely dedicating their time on the career field that they want to get into. The diploma program is more for our students that 1 week they want to do journalism, the next week they, oh no, maybe I'll do architecture. Okay, they're not really sure. So, or they are very sure and they know that they want to do medicine or engineering or computer science. So the diploma keeps every door open because you have to do the 6 subjects. Okay? Now, what is vital here is that we listen to your child, your student, all right? Because they're the ones that are passionate about things. We will have opinions about what is the best pathway for them to go down. You will have opinions about the best pathway. But at the end of the day, it's really important that they make a decision that is suitable with them and that they're happy with. This journey, like I said, starts today. We have the conversations with you, one-on-one. You will fill in a form with your student, with your child, and they will then be submitted. These guys will double check that the form meets all the requirements. So for example, if you've chosen 5 standard level subjects, that's not appropriate, so these guys will double check, pick things up, have further conversations. Then come August, they will come back to school, go into grade 11. The most important thing on their agenda on that particular day will be their leavers jacket, okay, because that's important for them, all right? And once that settles down, then, no, seriously. So we have until midterm break in October for them to absolutely lock in everything that they want to do, okay? So what we mean by that is some students, we know, for example, will choose, I don't know, we'll pick computer science. They'll go to computer science in August, and within 2 weeks they'll sort of realize, oh, that's not what I thought it was going to be about, or it's not really of interest to me anymore. Come back to Miss Berju or Mr. Jed and they will say, you know what, I want to change. I don't want to do computer science anymore. I want to do design technology. Okay? Now, as long as all the other requirements have been met, as long as there's still space in the room, that change is allowed. And we get, I mean, how many changes a week? We get a lot of traffic between August and October, midterm break, with students wanting to change. The other thing is, they'll submit their subject selection now, in the next couple of months, and then over the summer, maybe they've gone off and done an internship, and they realize, uh-oh, I don't want to do architecture anymore. I want to do this. Okay? So they might have a complete overhaul and come back in and go, actually, you know what, I want to do this, 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 and this, and change everything. And that's okay as well. Now, this is sort of standard procedure in all IB schools. There has to be a deadline. Okay, so the deadline is the end just before we break up for midterm in October. I don't have that specific date off the top of my head right now. And the reason for that is because higher level subjects require 240 hours. Standard level subjects require 150 hours. If we leave the change later, they don't meet the hour requirements. Does that make sense? Okay. So I guess I'm just trying to explain. It is a long process. It is not something that you're going to get all the answers today. Okay, you will have plenty of questions. There will be tears, there will be arguments, there will be some really heavy conversations, but there will also be a lot of highs. And this is part of the transition. We're used to it. Can I have a show of hands? Who has had children go through to the diploma before? No one, okay, strap yourselves in. No. Okay, all right, no, it will be, you know, it's a great time, all right, but be ready, okay? That's all I can say to you. You will need to give them space, especially, you know, around about now of grade 12. So our current grade 12s, they're going into their trial exams in a couple of weeks. And then, of course, it's the real thing in a couple of weeks after that when you take out midterm and everything else, all right? So it will go in a heartbeat. It'll go really, really fast. It is only 18 months, even though we talk about 2 years. But because we're embedded in it, we see the other side, right? You guys haven't been there yet, but we see the other side. We see the success. And the best success, I guess, we have is when students come back to us, you know, a couple of months into starting at university, and they go, oh my gosh, all my friends at university are coming to me, asking me to help them with writing their essay. Oh my gosh, it's so easy, you know, some of my friends have never written an essay more than 2,000 words before. Because of the extended essay, I know full well what I'm doing. Oh my gosh, critical thinking skills, I'm well aware, right? So they find first-year university from sort of more the practical side of things so much more easier, okay? And research shows the dropout rate in first-year university for IB students is far less than any other students that has gone through a different curriculum, okay? So this is why the IB has got such a good reputation, because it really does prepare students for life after school, okay? I didn't mean to speak that long, I'm really sorry. Is there an Irish gift in the gab? Any quick questions? No? Okay. Look, we'll be having lots of conversations, all right? You're in very safe hands with the team, and I'm sure by now they got your email addresses and stuff, right? So if you do have any quick questions, please get in touch with us. Start the conversation tonight with your son or daughter, all right? Just, you know, filling them in on what you've heard from us. We obviously will be doing similar sessions with the kids as well, okay? So they'll get the same sort of info, and, you know, the important thing is that everybody's on the same page. Yeah. Okay? All right. Thank you very much.
Thanks for coming and joining us today. Have a great moment. Nice talk today.